And the next video is here. So the war campaigns, essentially, it's the Alliance trying to fight the Horde, and the Horde trying to fight the Alliance, and they're invading each other's zones. And so as the Alliance, you're like, hey, we need to get footholds in all of these zones. Try to recruit the Blood Trolls, doesn't work. Go to the Zandalari area. You don't try to recruit the Zandalari. Instead, from what I can remember, you beat the shit out of a bunch of goblins, and then you grab the gorillas, who are supposed to be really, really smart, because they're eating the same thing that the goblins did in order for the goblins to become super smart. And so you've got like these really overpowered gorillas, and they agree to help the Alliance. Well, what the Alliance does is they find one of their leaders, Grook or Gronk or something, I can't remember his name. They put this helmet on him, and it drains his intelligence, but it increases his strength and makes him huge. And at one point, it's starting to go a little haywire. So what does the Alliance do? They're like, hey, we have to stop it. And here's this like hulked out gorilla. He's like, no more. And so we make him really strong. It's like, okay, well, done with that. We go to Vol'dun. We team up with the Sethrak. Still kind of fail there, but it's like, hey, no, we're friends with the Sethrak now. Then we go over to Nazmir. Like, okay, well, we're gonna set up like this one run, and it's all setting up for the second raid, right? It's all setting up for the second raid in 8.1. The Horde. Something else that we do as the Alliance. I've only played through this once. We sneak into like the vault of the Zandalari, and we steal a weapon or a Tidestone. Oh, we steal the Tidestone back. It's Tidestone of Golgameth. It's a Titan relic. It allows you to really control the seas, and we blow up a bunch of their ships with Rambo, who's flirting with a gnome, and that's essentially it for the war campaign. The Horde, they're kind of on the defensive. They're attacking Stormsong Valley, which you see during the Alliance quest, and a little bit of that. In 8.1, they added assaults, which are really quick for leveling, to each area. It's fun, it's nice, it's okay. Let's move on to the raid. So, the setup for the raid is really interesting. The Alliance get their revenge! And doing the raid is really weird with how it has you set up. So, the plan is to make the Horde believe that you're attacking from Nazmir, which is in the north, when in reality you're going to be attacking from the south. The thing with that is that you have to make a sacrifice. Because in order for them to believe that you're attacking from the north, you have to come in with enough people at the front. Now there's going to be Tide Sages making mist to hide the fact you don't have a lot. So someone needs to volunteer themselves to be a sacrifice. And one of the generals, who's a Draenei, also known as a space goat hobo, is like, I'll do it. I've seen enough of my people die, I'll do it. So you go in. Then, on the other side, you've got the Kultiran Navy coming in, and they're charging the Zandalari fleet, right? Well, the Zandalari fleet all have these charges on their boat, but you have to get within a certain range to be able to trigger the explody-splody. So, while going in, you got Jaina Proudmoore, like, trying to block a bunch of shots, and then she uses arcane magic to move bombs onto the Zandalari ships, and the gnome boss dude, he's going to press the button, but it gets hit. There's a big explosion. It's like kapow, kapow, and he's all the way on the bottom of the ship. Like, are you okay? Are you gonna hit the button? It's like, I'll hit the button. Hits the button, blows shit up. Then you're invading. The idea for the Alliance invasion of Zandalar and the big golden city, Dazar'alor, is to go in there and have the king surrender. Right? Anduin doesn't want to kill innocent people, so they don't kill innocent people. The first thing that the Alliance finds when they're there is the Guardians of Light. The Horde find them too, so you fight them, then you fight a couple monks, and then is when it starts to change a little bit. So if you're Horde, you find this monkey, the big gorilla, you beat the shit out of him, and you send him away. You kill him. If you're Alliance, at this point, Bwonsamdi starts raising the dead, one of which being that gorilla. You kill him. Then, if you're Alliance, you're making your way into the Inner Sanctum. The first boss that you fight is the Great Vault of Dazarlord. So, you kind of split up, and you fight your way to him, and you're like, bye-bye, and you kill him, and then you move forward, and you fight a council who are empowered by different Loa, and so you kill them, and then you go see the king, and it's King Rastakhan in Bwonsamdi. And like, listen, you need to surrender. He's like, whoa, Zandalari, never surrender. So you beat the shit out of him, and you almost kind of kill Bwonsamdi, but once Bwonsamdi sees that Rastakhan's gonna die, he leaves. And Rastakhan's like, why are you giving me powers? Like, it's okay. You're gonna die. It's okay. I got your daughter. You didn't tell her about our deal. Screams. Talanji comes up, sees everything that's going on. Is like, no! And her dad's like, I'm sorry. What did you do? And then Bwonsamdi tells her, just like, fuck. Because no one likes Bwonsamdi because he's a Loa of death. So they're like, well, he's a bad guy. He's one of the best guys. But then in the Alliance, you see how it happens with the Alliance. So you become Horde. So your first thing is to fight these two Kultirans on a ship, and they summon their little boss. You beat them. Then you fight Mekatork, the dude that was in the explosion and set off bombs. Well, he's in his big fancy suit. You beat the crap out of him, almost killing him to the point where he like flies away in a little escape pod thing, and then you fight Jaina Proudmoore. Now you don't kill Jaina Proudmoore or Mekatork. Mekatork gets frozen so he can be saved later. Jaina teleports away, and it's like, oh, what happened? Well, we killed the king of the Zandalari, so that kind of makes them Horde for good, right? Yep. Okay, well, good enough. And it's like, well, fuck, something's gonna happen. And something does happen. Because the war is getting a little crazy. The Horde break Ashvane out during this point in the war campaign. Break her out of the thing, and the reason why they break out Lady Ashvane, this Kultiran, to have her work with the Horde and the dogs, and she's like, I won't do it. It's like, well, if you don't do it, we'll kill you. And then I'll raise you as an undead, and then I'll make you. She's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. They also use her to get in touch with Ajara, the Queen of the Naga. And so you're like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. This how to do it, okay? Okay, don't kill me. It's like, oh, what were they looking for? They were looking for Jaina's dead brother. Pulled his body out of the water, raised him as a forsaken undead, and the Tauren leader's like, no, there's no honor in this. And she's like, bitch, we've been committing genocide. Fuck off with your honor. And then she starts brainwashing him. Because the idea with undead and forsaken is they all have free will. But she starts brainwashing this one. And the fact that Arthas' sister came by earlier and she's like, hey, we're going to help everything out. And it's kind of morally ambiguous because they were treating her as the rightful queen. So Sylvanas as a usurper. Killed her and killed all Forsaken that were ready to try and go back to their loving families. Which was kind of dumb. But they bring it back to the brother. And Varric Sarfang learns about what's going on. Bane was imprisoned because after Jaina's brother was brought back, he said, fuck that. This is not the Horde I love. So he grabbed a couple friends. They went in there. They saved the brother before brainwashing could take place to make him want to kill his family. Even though he might still try it, honestly. And they call a meeting with Jaina Proudmoore. And the only reason why they're able to get this, Bane is really good friends with Anduin. So, call in the favor. Jaina goes there. He's like, what's going on? Why'd you call me here? And shows her brother's like, really? What's going on, huh? Is he the bomb this time? Is gets ready to blast them all with the frozen orb, and the brother's like, "It's okay, I'm not the bomb." They kind of like, bond, and he's not mad about what happened. She's like, "Okay." He's like, "Listen, this is not it." So at this point, Sarfang, who broke out, kind of has this plan with the Alliance leader, and his plan is to gather allies. And while he's doing this, he does get attacked a few times by the Horde player and by some Dark Rangers, and you're given a choice. For the first time in World of Warcraft, you're given a choice that kind of affects the way that your storyline plays out. So, if you choose to not report him to Sylvanas, okay. If you choose to, it doesn't change the overall part of the story, but you can get a toy. And you get a little extra cutscene at the end of this. So Sarfang's gathering friends. He's gathering Thrall, the old world shaman. And they're preparing for this battle. And they go to this battle, and he looks upon the gates of Orgrimmar. Because the entire time, it's like, the Horde is his family. His son's gone, his wife's gone. He has nothing but the Horde. And he's trying to save it. And he's looking at them. He's like, if we fight, the people there defending Orgrimmar, they're Horde too. And our brothers and sisters will die. And his buddy Thrall, who used to be war chief's like, these people are here to fight for you. There will be many deaths. He's like, no, just one. Calls out to the war chief Sylvanas, challenges her to what is called Mak Gura, a fight to the death. No magic, no none. And she's like, why would I do that? Technically, you're not a part of the Horde, so I don't have to accept. She's like, yeah, but you want to make me suffer, don't you? Okay. And everyone's like, dude, you're gonna die. He's like, it's fine. Thrall's telling him, he's like, dude, don't do this, brothers. It's okay. Remember, brother, you and I, we don't get to hide. And talks to Anduin, and Anduin's like, I'm sorry I led you down this. This is all my fault. Like, when we headed out on this path, we knew where this could lead. And Zappy Boy, which is a troll, before all this, they had their little meeting, and he asked the troll, he's like, where do we call home? He's like, Orgrimmar? No. Where is our home? Azeroth. For Azeroth. So he's fighting, he's getting beat by Sylvanas, and Sylvanas is like, I trusted you. You betrayed me for nothing. He's like, not for nothing. You tried to get us to kill each other. You tried! You keep failing. Gets one cut on her. And it's like, you're nothing. The Horde is nothing. Loses her temper yet again. But, she's a big mastermind. And Sarfang just fucking smiles. Because she said the Horde was nothing. And the Horde that's next to her is like, It's like, for Azeroth. Then she death bolts him to death. And is like, oh, you're nothing. Goodbye. And flies away like an evil witch. He dies. There's like an armistice. And now everyone wants to hunt down Sylvanas. But there's something else going on with the war campaign. They are called war fronts. There's also there's something else called island expeditions. And this is kind of just a lore dump and a way for you to farm stuff. It's not really important, but I really love the lore, and I really love all of the stuff that you can get from doing them. It's amazing. So, the war fronts, Arathi Highlands. The reason why the Arathi Highlands wouldn't start, it's between a Horde zone and an Alliance zone. So, you fight each other. Lore-wise, the Alliance win. Gameplay-wise, it swaps its way to get gear. It's like extra bonus stuff, get pets, mounts, toys, stuff like that. Then there's Darkshore. And Darkshore is really important. Because if you might know, the big bad druid, he was really strong. Well, he has a wife. She's a priestess. She's always worshipped Elune, the moon goddess, who was supposed to protect the night elves, but she did not protect them during that fire. All she did was take away their pain as they died. Well, she wants revenge on Sylvanas and on the Horde. However, Anduin tells us, we don't have the manpower for you. We can't help you take back your holy land in Darkshore because we are fighting a war on the Arathi front. We are fighting a war in Kultiris and in Zandalar. We don't have the people to spare. by the way, you have a really powerful dude on your side. Why not just do that? She's like, well, fuck you. The night elf, fuck you. Night elves are angry. And the Worgen dude's like, Anduin, bro, you my king, but they kind of got a point. I really don't like the Horde. Nothing really happens out of all of that. But her plan now is to gain power. And she has read about an ancient ritual called the Ritual of the Night Warrior, which, when you take upon the power of a loon, she's, the moon goddess, she's all nice and light and all that, but there's two faces of the moon, including the dark face of the dark side of the moon. You could say she turned to the dark side. She became sick. So she takes on this, and it's like the vengeance of a loon, and this big bad ritual that's supposed to kill everyone that looks at it. It doesn't. She gains its power, and its power is immense. She's like beating the crap out of all these Horde guys. They push through. It's like, oh, Sylvanas' little fuckboy's there with two of her angel guardians, and they start fighting, and the world druid boy is there, and he starts fighting, and here comes the Night Warrior. She's like, I'll kill you! And the Thanos gets away, but we take down one of Sylvanas' Valkyr, which is really important because that is who she relies on to be able to bring shit back from the dead, and that's also one of her lives. Like, if she dies, one of them takes her place back in hell, essentially. And it's like, oh, fuck. So, that's done. What happens next with the war campaign, right? Because we outed Sylvanas. Well, if you're a Sylvanas loyalist, you'll see that she still has a plan. She has a plan for something to go on. She's like, you were loyal to me, so I'll tell you, I have something planned. And her boyfriend is like, be careful, Dark Lady. I do everything for you. Even though throughout the story we've seen a few times where you're starting to question her. It's like, yeah, Thanos, you be safe too. Have fun. And just kind of leaves, which I think is funny. But that is all in terms of the war campaign. It's done. It's over with. It's kaput. The war campaign in Battle for Azeroth is finite. Kind of. There's a few other things that happen. I mean, this didn't all finish in 8.1. It went on into 8.2.5. Technically speaking, we'll talk about that here in a second.